I was wrong about Jey Uso, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly what I was wrong about and why I have to admit it. We all know that Jey Uso is coming off of the biggest win of his career. And no, it's not the IC title. Of course, it is the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. A match in which was star-studded. A match in which had all the top stars. I'm talking CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. You name it, they were there. But it was main event Jey Uso punching his ticket to WrestleMania, going after either the World Heavyweight title on Gunther, which I'm going to assume that's going to be the place and time. The opponent, the championship that Jey Uso will go on and challenge for. Or he could throw a swerve and go after Cody Rhodes, our undisputed WWE champion. Someone that he has stood side by side with in War Games. Someone in which has gone to battle with up against the old bloodline, Jacob Fatu and the Tongas and Solo Sikoa and the like. It's probably going to be a rematch between main event Jey Uso and Gunther. A Saturday night's main event rematch. Ironically, 7 nights after losing to Gunther. Having the opportunity of a lifetime, going after the world title, and potentially dethroning Gunther, Jey Uso fell short at Saturday night's main event. 7 nights later, he is on top of the world. It makes more sense for him to go after Gunther. I assume they will confirm that on Monday Night Raw this week. It seems like a pretty foregone conclusion. What makes it more interesting about main event Jey Uso in this victory is the fact that he actually outlasted not only 29 other stars, but some of the best in the business today, including John Cena in the final 2. Now, I was skeptical going into this event about Jey Uso's chances, his status, if you will. And that leads us to today's video. I was wrong in saying that I did not think Jey Uso had a shot in hell of winning this match. I had no belief that Jey Uso was going to win it. And I don't think a lot of people did as well. Now, I've talked about how I am skeptical of whether or not WWE would ever put the rocket behind Jey Uso. Put him in a main event spot and have him actually win the championship. Because he's come up so many times in big situations against big opponents for big-time titles, yet fallen short every single time. His only big single success up to this point had been him winning the Intercontinental Championship last year, and he only held it for a cup of coffee. He fell in the lines of Sami Zayn and LA Knight, where he was booked in these big-time situations, yet he would always fall short. And the fact that he is just coming off of a loss to Gunther for the world title at Saturday night's main event, I mean, who could have guessed it? Who would have predicted that Jey Uso would be right back in the hunt? And I've seen the criticism of why. Why would WWE do this? Why would they push Jey Uso? Why would they put him in this spot? He's not the greatest worker in the world. No. He's not the best promo in the world. No. He gets a reaction. He is one of, if not the most over talents in all of WWE. I would put him up there with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and John Cena. I would put him above Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I would put him above Gunther in terms of crowd reactions. I mean, his ring entrances are insane. So, we're going into the Royal Rumble, and John Cena is the leading favorite. He was like a minus 200 favorite to win the Royal Rumble. And then you had to look at, well, what about CM Punk? What about Seth Rollins? What about Drew? What about Roman? What about this? What about that? That was also a beauty of this year's Royal Rumble. You didn't know who was going to win it, right? Like the Women's Royal Rumble, it was pretty much clear cut. You knew Charlotte Flair was going to win this match, right? Heck, there was a report by PW Insider going into the show that she was going to get a massive push coming out of the show. So you kind of put 2 and 2 together. But with the Royal Rumble, I don't think Jey Uso was at the top of everyone's list. I did not think that Jey Uso was at the top of my list. I thought it was going to be John Cena, right? Going after the world title record, trying to make it to number 17, his last Royal Rumble. So when he pushed, or when Jey pushed John off the apron, they're battling back and forth, the reaction to it was disbelief. It was the closest that I could remember to Brock Lesnar beating Taker at WrestleMania 30 in 2014, where the reaction was just dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. And then once people realized, wait, what? Wait, Jey won? John didn't win? What? And everybody went nuts. That's the exact same reaction that I had. It's like, did that just happen? And you could see Jey mouthing "OS," oh crap, in a PG form. And it was like, wait, was that the finish? Did they screw up? And then it's like, okay, no. These are two pros. They didn't screw up. So even though you may not agree with WWE's decision, you may not see it in Jey, I think it's time to admit at least Jey Uso is going to go to WrestleMania. Jey Uso is going to win the world title. Jey Uso will be the top champion on Monday Night Raw. Because Gunther has held it for, almost a year, right? He won it in what? Well, not almost a year. He won at SummerSlam, so I take that back. My bad. He beat Damian Priest for the world title at SummerSlam. He won King of the Ring in May. So, anyways. So, he's had a long reign. That's my point, right? I think it's very fair to say that Jey Uso will be world champion. Now, here's a big question. Will he be world champion for a long period of time? That's another thing. Like, all right, he's gotten to this point because the fans want to see him in the spot. He's undeniable. They have literally done anything and everything to try to, toss him off his momentum. But he keeps shining. He keeps shining brighter. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. It's going to be very interesting to see how they build this up, right? Do they keep Jey as like a strong contender? Does Gunther kind of downplay, like, you're not a threat to me, I've already beaten you? And, you go back to early 2024, Gunther beat Jey before on Monday Night Raw as IC champion. Like, we've been there, done that, saw that. Even Damian Priest, Backlash, right? Jey Uso fell short against Damian Priest for the world title. So, it's not a slam dunk. And here's another thing. It's not a slam dunk that he's going to win it. I think he will. I think it's a 90% chance, but you never know, right? Gunther is a Triple H guy. Jey Uso, I don't see as a Triple H guy. So, a lot of interesting parts, a lot of interesting movement here, but I think I join a lot of other people in saying that I'm glad to see Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble. I think he's earned the spot. The man's 39. He's put in the miles, the grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, all of that to get to this point. I'm happy for him. I hope he succeeds, and I hope to see Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, as our World Heavyweight Champion,